Thanks for your support as a channel member, Jonathan Haslam. We've signed a striker who is far too good for the level of football that we're playing, to the point where it feels like I'm just cheating at the game. And I'm really enjoying it. I never thought I would enjoy being this overpowered. But who knew? Winning is fun. You know what else is fun? Liking videos. If you're enjoying the series so far, 2,000 likes today would be absolutely splendid. Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Bourne Legacy. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we get started in the FA Vase, which I'm not entirely sure how the FA Vase is different from the FA Trophy, other than it looks like it's an even lower level thing. I could be wrong about that. I'm sure someone will enlighten me down in the comments. We're also playing a league game against Sileby Rangers. I think that's lots of Rangers at this level. But as you can see, we have had a really rather good start to life at Bourne. 7 games played, 7 wins, 23 is our goal difference, 21 points on the board. And it's largely thanks to this man, Japhet Mata, 21-year-old Congolese striker. He goes against the policy of signing old men that we had before. And previously a Manchester United youth player, also been to Rochdale, Sutton, spent some time in Sweden, never played anywhere until he turned up in Bourne, and he's making up for lost time. 5 starts, 11 goals. 11 goals in 5 games for Japhet Mata. Just the 1 assist, which quite frankly, he needs to improve that statistic. 1 assist in 5 games, not enough for our striker. 3 Man of the Match awards and an incredible average of a 9.16. I know he's only played 5 games, but I don't think I've ever had a striker be quite that prolific before. Obviously, because we are deep in deepest, darkest non-league, he will leave. He's on a non-contract. There's nothing we can do to change that. If anyone decides to offer him more money per appearance than we are, or if he just fancies leaving, he can walk out at any time. And at 21 years old and scoring at the rate that he's scoring, and to be honest, the fact that he's already good enough for the division above is going to end up probably good enough for 2 more divisions up. I think the Northern/Southern/Isthmian League Premier Division, I think that's tier 7. I think they're the divisions directly below the conference North and South. So if he's going to end up that good, then he's not going to be with us for very long. If we manage to keep him for 4 years, he'll take us there. I'm absolutely certain of it. It is absurd the amount of goals that he's scoring. Watch him be rubbish today. But it does, if we have a look at the actual results, it's not just that we've been winning games, we've been absolutely dominating games and thumping teams. It's cruel, quite frankly. The transfer policy has continued of just bringing players in and then releasing others as I decide I don't need them anymore. So I think you got as far as us signing Bevan in the last episode. Obviously, Mata has come in as well. Fraser Paparil is a centre-back who, I mean, I've played him right-back recently. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. He came on as a right-back, so it's showing me how good at right-back he is. He's not good enough to be starting games yet, but another slightly younger player. I'm trying not to sign all of the old men with a view to maybe building a team that might be able to stick around beyond Christmas when the old men start to really decline. The only problem is that obviously if any of them turn out to be any good, they'll be gone by Christmas too. So it might be a counterproductive policy, but I'm going with it at the moment. Jack Coates comes in on the same basis. Cavill Koo is another older one who, I mean, that's a bit of a flop of a signing, to be honest. I'll probably release him fairly soon. And then the last one, which I can't see over the top of my McCafe cup that has fallen over in front of my monitor, luckily was already empty. JJ Melligan, 37 years old, central midfielder, again, one that probably isn't quite up to scratch. But remember, with those star ratings, we talked about it a little bit in the last episode, star ratings are relative to your best player. They're not to do with the reputation of the club or anything like that. It's all to do with if your best player, the best player you could possibly imagine being in your squad, if he's there, he gets 5 stars. So Mata is 4.5 stars on that scale, and everyone else is then ranked against Mata, which is why some of those star ratings will have fallen down. The other thing you might have noticed, I've been cruel, I've been ruthless, and I've released Julian Joachim because although he was our best player when I arrived, he's 44 years old. I hadn't played him. I wasn't planning on playing him. And he had one of the highest appearance fees of anybody at the club, and it meant that my wage budget allocation was even higher than it actually is. Don't worry that it says we're spending £603 a week there. We're not actually spending that. That's based on those averages. I think I talked about that in the last episode. You can see our actual committed spending, £85. We're actually spending somewhere in between. If we look at expenditure, player wages for the whole of August, so it's the 31st of August, and player wages we've spent £340. I assume that includes bonuses, so like appearance fees. So although it says on there we're spending £603 a week, you can see what we've actually spent in that entire month is just £340 total. So that seems wrong. One of them is massively wrong. I don't need to press into it too much. That's Sir Mick Powell's issue. I'm talking of Sir Mick Powell. He's already stuck 25 grand into the club to cover the fact that we're just going to lose money constantly. It's people warned me that once you get down to this level, money is a disaster. It's why I put in a background sugar daddy as our chairman. The only problem is we're constantly being linked in the media with a takeover. So I don't know how long I'm going to be able to ride that gravy train for. Hopefully we'll get a promotion or two in before Sir Mick Powell legs it. But enough talk. Let's get into a football match. We're playing in the FA Vase against Black Country Rangers, who, by the way, I love the fact that their badge, they've basically taken the Q out of Queen's Park Rangers and just changed the Q and the P for a B and a C and kept the rest of the badge identical. And I love that. But this is the team that's going out there to face Black Country Rangers. And we've got Winterton in goal, a back four of Bevan, Boardman, Francis and Collis. So I think that's a back four that has survived from the last episode. That's probably not going to happen very often this season. Everett still playing at the base of the midfield. Shuka still in central midfield. New boy, he's older than me. JJ, is he older than me? He was born in February. He's 5 months older than me. You old man, JJ. Imagine someone older than me calling themselves JJ. He's playing in midfield alongside Shuka. Bourne still knocking about the place. Simmons now plays on the wing because Mata is in up front. And to be honest, Simmons out on the wing is still having a cracking season. So Simmons is a very adequate striker for this level as well. But Simmons and Bourne supporting Mata up front. But I just really want you to see Mata doing wonderful, wonderful things. So let's get this game up and running. And hopefully he continues in the purple patch that he started. I would be devastated if it was just, he had a good run when he first arrived. And I'm hoping he's as good as he looks. We'll have to see, won't we? What are we going to say? There you go. Go on and carry straight on from where you left off last match. Because not only are we playing well, we're scoring lots of goals. And the two of those combined it's beautiful, and I'm having a lovely, lovely time. Because obviously, as we learnt with home last year, doing a non-league, deep non-league road to glory, starting in Tier 8 rather than this one starting in Tier 10, the key is get some quick promotions in before the club goes out of business, because it is a real threat. It's a real fear at this level that if you don't get promoted quickly enough, the finances could just fall apart to the point where you never actually make it and you end up playing in Milton Keynes forever or something like that. That would be horrible if that happened. But I'm hoping if we can get... in my mind, I want to be Conference North. I guess we'll be North. We might be South, actually. We're dead in the middle. But Conference North-South, so Tier 6. I'm aiming for Tier 6 inside 5 seasons. I don't know how realistic that's going to be, but I think if we're not doing it at that kind of pace, we're going to have some serious financial issues chasing behind us. So hopefully we can go at that kind of pace. Plus, if we go much slower than that, this series is going to last forever. Home was 250 episodes to go from Tier 8 to the Champions League. We've got 2 extra divisions. This is even if we go as quickly as we did at home. And those of you who watched home, and if you haven't watched it, you should. But we raced through some of these lower divisions, and it still took 250 episodes to become a real mega power club. I would say, at a conservative estimate, 300 episodes to get from Tier 10 to that point. And I haven't looked at the calendar. I haven't done the maths. And this isn't going to be coming out 7 days a week. I'll work out a proper schedule in January. More on that to come. Watch this space. But it isn't going to be 7 days a week. And there aren't 300 days before FM21 comes out. So we've got to pick up the pace. We might not be winning the Champions League in this one, but I really want to. So we'll probably find a way to just spend all summer doing 3 episodes a day. Why is...
One moment. Sorry, I couldn't find the Champions League this in your music.
Siri's listened to all of that. What are you doing? You've just listened to 10 minutes of YouTube video. No wonder you can't find it. It doesn't exist yet. I've not put it on. Oh, I hate the fact that Siri's always listening. I love my Apple Watch. I hate the fact that it's always listening and does that 3 or 4 times a day. She'll just chirp up and say, sorry, I didn't catch that. Good. I hope you... It worries me that there's only 4 things you're not catching over the course of the day. Do you want me to repeat them for you so you can target your advertising better? Right. Where was I before Siri so rudely interrupted? Mata is in here. A first look at him, through on goal, and oh no, it's happening. We've had 4 clear-cut chances. Several of them have fallen to Mata, and he's not being as prolific as he was when I was playing this game late last night. It's another one of those things when you're in form, don't leave the game. We've scored a goal, thankfully, and it's Tom Byrne, and it's his 5th goal of the season. And it puts us 1-0 up. I don't know how good Black Country Rangers are. I assume they're another sort of equivalent tier 10 team. But I think we are slowly but surely putting together a better than tier 10 team with some of these Football League cast-offs and old men. That's basically the plan. If you see a 28-year-old playing in our team, it's probably a mistake. It's going to be kids and their dads. That's basically what our team is going to look like. Nothing in between, because if they're in between, they're nothing really. They're not Football League players on the way back down, and they're not promising youngsters who might make it up there. If you're 27 years old, just go and get a real job. That's going to be a theme of this series. I'm sorry to non-league footballers. I realise some of you, there might be a 27-year-old tier 10 footballer watching who's fully at peace with the fact he's not going to make it to the Football League and just enjoys playing football on a Saturday afternoon. That's absolutely fine. Problem is, don't really want you in my team because I'm not happy with that kind of attitude. If you don't want to get 5 promotions in the next 5 years, go and play for somebody else. Unless you're 37 and really good, in which case you can hang out with us for a little while and impart some of your experience. We've just conceded a goal here. It's 1-1. And this wasn't part of the script for today. I mean, it could be that Black Country Rangers are actually a better team than us, a higher level than us. Like I say, I didn't check. We could probably check now. Black Country Rangers playing the West Midlands. I mean, I don't know. I have no way of knowing. I mean, there you go, English level 10. So they are a tier 10 team, and they are rock bottom of their league. They've only played 4 games in their league, whereas in ours we're up to 7 games. It's weirdly inconsistent. But the fact that they're rock bottom of theirs and we're running away with ours suggests that this shouldn't be happening. But then you don't know if the quality between the 2 leagues is equivalent. Are all the tier 10 leagues evenly balanced? Probably not. It's so complicated at this level. Right. But on that basis, I'm going to say I'm not happy with that performance. I think we do need to be doing better than we have been so far. Just purely based on the fact, even if their league is slightly better than ours, we're well top of ours, they're well bottom of theirs. We should be beating them. Bevan now with the throw, finds Byrne. Byrne ends up back with Bevan again. Simmons is in, and Simmons heads over and probably should have done a little bit better with it. We are generating a lot of chances today, but just not able to convert them. And it's... I'm not worried. You're worried. I got too excited about Mata. This will be the first game he's not scored in. Probably the first game he's not scored multiple times in. So, yeah. Oh, here you go. He's going to grab his goal. Mata through on goal. Surely he scores. And there he is. Japhet Mata. 12th goal of the season already and only his 6th appearance. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but I'm not going to worry about it because, like I said, I don't think he's going to be here long enough. Because if you're managing in tier 7 or tier 8, and your ears to the ground, if you're doing any kind of scouting, surely every now and again, unless you're playing by Kev's super restrictive rules and just doing what your scouts tell you to do, but even if you're a scout worth your salt, you're just having a look at those divisions 1 or 2 below you, having a look at that top goal scorer chart, and if there's somebody who's already in double figures at this stage of the season, you probably go and have a little look and maybe invite him along for training. You don't even need to scout him. Just offer him a better non-contract contract. I think we're paying him £30 a match or something ridiculous. Offer him £40 a match. If he's not any good, don't play him. He's cost you literally nothing. I don't know why he's still here. I'm surprised he's not already gone. If I was managing home up in tier 8 and noticed him, I'd be all over him. Right, Collis. Old man Collis plays it forward, looking for Milligan, but can't quite get to him. Simmons beats his man, does play it into Milligan. Matters in the middle. Milligan doesn't need him. Grabs his second goal of the season. 3-1 now to Bourne. Bourne 3. Black Country Rovers 1. Or do you reckon they call themselves BCR? They must do, mustn't they? They're ripping off every aspect of QPR. I imagine their home shirt is a QPR shirt. This will be their away kit. If anyone knows, if anyone is an expert on Black Country Rovers, Rangers, after all this, it'll be Rovers. And I've been saying Rangers all along. I don't want to make myself look like more of an idiot than I probably already have. Right, Collis. Collecting the ball at right back, lumps it forward, non-league styley. Matter is in again. Can he grab his second of the game? He probably should have done. We've had 7 clear-cut chances now. We are a good football team who do need to be a little bit more prolific in front of goal. Shuka with the corner coming in. Byrne can't quite direct it goalwards. Milligan does pick it up though. It's with Everett. Back to Milligan. And we've got... Who's that? Is that Simmons hovering around completely offside so we're not able to play a forward pass? Which, again, welcome to non-league. Everett, cross comes in. Byrne's there. It's Byrne's second of the game. 6th of the season for Tom Byrne. If I was to believe my assistant manager, he keeps telling me Tom Byrne is surplus to requirements. He's one of the ones who my assistant manager thinks I should be releasing. But he's scored nearly a goal a game from the left wing. Why on earth would I not want to keep him in my team? This is why, you can't trust your assistant manager too much at this stage, but he's a 2-star player who's an emergency backup, and we've got several players better. Okay, only one player better than him, I suppose. But all the same, I'm not desperate to go and replace this man because he's scoring for fun, playing really well. Why would I not want to keep him in the team? Star ratings mean nothing. Oh, I felt horrible saying that. I love a star rating. Right, what are we going to do here? What have we got on the bench? Cavill Koo can come on, and I bring him on at left back. He is a right back, but I just want to get some game time into him because he's just arrived, but hasn't been able to force his way into the team yet. So let's get him in at left back. Collis is I really like Collis at right back. Obviously, he's our captain, so he's going to be hard to displace. But a couple of decent performances from Koo at left back, and he might be knocking on the door. What else are we going to change up? I guess we just need to look at fitness levels. Should we take Matter off? No, I want to give him the chance to get a second goal. Simmons can come off, and we'll bring Moulton on that right hand side. That would do for now. We're going to drop a little bit of praise as well, and I want to give Matter the opportunity to get his second goal because I'm pretty sure every game he's played. Oh, see, that's what I do. I get silly, and now I've broken him. Playing with my new toy too much. Now broken him. And that's it. We won't ever see him score another goal for us now. Collis can ease off on his tackles. That's fine. I don't mind that. I want to know what's up with Matter. If he's not going to play in the next league game, then we'll be less dominant in the league in that next game. And that would be sad. Winterton still the best goalkeeper at this level. We've got the best striker and the best goalkeeper in Tier 10. Certainly in the United Counties League Division 1, we have the best keeper and the best striker. And also the best centre-back. And the best left back, I think, according to the Dream 11. We'll check in on the Dream 11 again in a minute. I think it's just the 4 players we've got in it at the moment. Just the 4 players, he says. We were supposed to finish mid-table. Anything less than promotion now means we've bottled it from this point. Or lost all our players, which that's still a big fear. Losing the players who are any good and the rest of them, the old men, just massively deteriorating. And I suspect there'll be a combination of both hit us in the second half of this season, and we might have to... I certainly think the transfer conveyor belt is just going to be running all year long. I don't think we're going to get to a point where we stop bringing new players in. That's my guess at the moment. Because why would we? Dynamics doesn't seem to mean much at this level. If you can assemble a team where the ability is better than your opponents, I think dynamics... I feel like dynamics works in a similar way to like chemistry in FIFA, where... Yeah, if you're 2 evenly matched teams and your dynamics is worse than theirs, then they've got the edge. But if you're a much better side, it doesn't matter if your dynamics is well off. It's not going to penalise you enough to make you as bad as the team you're playing. That's the assumption I'm working on at the moment. Anyway, right. Is this game nearly over? We're into the final seconds. We're just knocking the ball around waiting for a final whistle, which is weird. So you don't get a final whistle highlight anymore. So it suggests there is going to be at least one more opportunity. And there it is. In fact, Desane was in, but it was tackled. And, I don't know why we had that highlight at the end, but that was a good win. We played very well. We'll just check in firstly with Matter on his injury, then have a look at the Media Dream 11, and then we'll go and play Northampton Sileby Rangers. Ugh, Northampton. Dirty. Right. Matter. Just a couple of days. I can live with that. Oh, we get money for this competition. That could be very handy. Right, we were looking at the Dream 11, weren't we? And then we will go and play that league game. Why can't I click that properly? There we go. And season preview. We are now expected to win the league. And yeah, there we go. So we've got the best striker. We've actually got 3 of the first choice back 4. Koo is in that team, although we can't get in our team. Winterton is in goal as well. And we had a different defender, the old man whose name I forget, who I play every week, him, Boardman. So we've actually got 2 players who are sat on our bench currently who are in the Media Dream 11. So we probably need to look to bringing them in. Do all the rest of these play for the same team as well? Oh, no, they just all play for red teams. In fact, the majority of them are at Melton, who are our closest challengers. So there is an argument, even if they're not going to get in our team, which they probably would, but there's an argument for just nicking Melton's best players. But that feels cruel. Where are Melton in the league? Well behind us. Let's go and play this Northampton team. Right, slight change of plan, wage budget and player-wise. I've just released a load more players again because I noticed on the Club Vision thing that despite already looking at how much we're actually spending on wages, the board considered me to be struggling to work within the wage budget because the estimate doesn't quite work out right, i.e. is way over. So I've released some more, including players who were involved in that last game. Specifically, Desane has been released. Rory Hill, who was the backup left winger, is gone as well. Stefan Dorwood, who I don't even remember signing him, but he's moved on as well. We are down very much to a skeleton squad. This is what we've got in our first team. We have got a lot of players in the under-23s and the under-18s who are all taking a £5 a week. It's quite frustrating. Does it tell me how many there are there? I thought you used to be able to highlight them and get a number for how many they are. Or am I confusing Football Manager with Excel again? But it looks like there's like 20 players there, all taking a £5 a week. So if we could release them, I don't necessarily want to release all of them. Like Ward, for example, I'd want to keep. Edwards, I'd probably want to keep. But if we could release the majority of them, that then gets us most of the way back within there and the board will be fine again. But because they're on those 2-year youth contracts that I was so happy about in the first episode, can't release them without paying for it. To release the ones I wanted to release would cost us £150 of transfer budget, and we have 0. So I've already taken all of the scouting budget that I can take to put into wage budget, and then converted that into wage budget. So took scouting budget, made it transfer budget, converted it on into wage budget, got myself some more wage budget. And all while that's going on, I'm taking a load more players on trial to exacerbate the problem. My theory is, as long as we do well in all other areas, that won't really matter. I know it's the 5-year plan, but I've got a B on my manager performance, and they're not criticising me for anything at the moment. Mick Powell's got money. So I think as long as we keep winning, we'll be all right. It's if we stop winning that I probably need to worry a little bit more about that. So we won't worry about too much for now. One change to the team. Ring comes in for Milligan. Milligan dropping back down to the bench. Ring back into the side. I've also switched Bourne back up to be an inside forward again. I know he scored, was it once or twice in the last game? I had been playing him as an inside forward, switched the role to a winger to accommodate someone else at some point and forgot to switch him back again. He's now back to being an inside forward again. Bevan is unhappy because he's concerned about being replaced, because he thinks Jack Coates has been brought in to replace him. Well, he hasn't. At the moment, he's been brought in to sit on the bench. He's literally sitting on the bench for every game at the moment, and you're worried that he's been brought to replace you. The fact he's been here 4 games and you've started all of them and he's started none, is that not enough to convince you've got nothing to worry about? You silly goose. Right, can we... Yeah, we're going to keep doing the carry straight on where you left off in the last game because we're playing dominantly, we're scoring goals, we're winning games. Why would we want to do anything other than continue to do that? I don't know where Sileby Rangers actually are 3rd in the league. So they're right up there as a team that are potentially challenging us for promotion. And by the way, not a clue how promotion works at this level. I assume if we win the title, we go up. I don't know if second place goes up with us. It doesn't look like there's any kind of playoffs. It might even just be a nice, simple 2 up, 2 down into the United Counties League Premier Division, and then presumably it gets more complicated from there. But it looks like we just have to finish in the top 2 to go up. I didn't expect us to go down in this game. That's some pretty poor defending. Winterton, whoever that is kind of in the way of our keeper. I don't think I'm going to blame Winterton for it because he's the best keeper in the division. But whoever that was just stood in front of him. Not great. We have got Coates and Koo sat on the bench, who are both in the division's Dream 11, as we just saw. So if the defence does anything silly again, we can make some changes to I guess improve it. Although I've been really happy with our defence up to this point, which is why I've not been desperate to bring those players into the team. But if they're that good, if they're that much better than what we've got, I suppose it is silly going with the 2 old men. I mean, Boardman and Collis have got a combined age of nearly 80. So perhaps the fact that I've got younger and better replacements for them sat on the bench, today's defeat will be a wake-up call and we'll switch the defence up for the next match. I'm saying defeat. Obviously, we're going to get back into the game. Mata's going to get himself a couple of goals and everything will return back to normal. Bourne now looking to get that counter-attack up and running. Plays it forward, looking for Mata, who has loads of space to run into and misses. And he's on a yellow card as well. So we need to keep a little bit of an eye on that. He's obviously not fully fit. He did pick up that knock in the last game. We rushed him into the team because he's Mata. And and it's a game we wanted to win. I was going to say, and we're playing a really good side. I didn't have a clue how good they were before the match. You know, I didn't. I just wanted to play him to show off to you lot again. Right, have we been? I don't think we have been the better team. I think what we actually need to do aggressively. Where's your passion? And then I'm tempted to. You know what? I'm going to do that. Koo can come on for Collis. Because we'd got one of the little notes up there saying Collis was having a particularly poor game. We've got a better right back sat down on the bench. So let's start that process of getting him into the team. And if he ends up pushing Collis out completely, then so be it. We're 2-0 down and it's Koo who was there marking the man who scored. We need to go a little bit more attacking. We need to have 10 minutes of passion. And this isn't what I expected. I mean, I know I've got to try and remember that we're only supposed to be a mid-table team this year, according to the board. But obviously with the players that we've brought in, the media are now predicting we go up as champions. We won our first 7 games in a row. So I kind of felt like we were definitely going to win the league. Mata was scoring for fun, and now he's stopped doing that. We're going to lose our first game. It's all because you lot are here. Go away. Please don't go away. I have bills to pay. But, I mean, try not to make it too obvious to the players that you're here because they're really afraid when you're here. Right, we're going attacking. We're demanding more. I wonder, do we bring a second striker on? We've got... Oh, Milligan's not a striker. We have got, in fact, Moulton and Simmons. Right, we are going to We're going to take Everett off. We're going to stick Moulton up front with Simmons. We're going to stick Milligan out there. And you can be a target man. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're already playing attacking wing play. So it should work. It's just whether we've got enough oomph, whether it's too little too late. Simmons had been playing brilliantly. Again, until you lot all arrived. What have you done to my players? Mata's not scored today and we've taken him off and he's injured. It's all gone wrong. We are being mugged. It's 1-1 on clear-cut chances. We've had 1 half chance to their 0. So we should be ahead in the game. We are behind. Simmons is in here and Simmons scores. We've got 1 back. It's Sileby Rangers 2, Bourne 1 with 10 minutes to go. That is more like it. It's a lovely finish from Simmons. A nice attacking 4-2-4. It's the closest I've got to a 4-4-2 for a long time. You should all be so very proud of me. But it is a lovely finish from Simmons. Oh, we hadn't actually switched to it yet. Well, okay. Still, we're still going to demand more. And hopefully grab a late equaliser. A late equaliser. Why is Simmons anxious? Yes, I'm demanding more, and I know you just scored, but We're still losing, so it's not enough for you to just score. Don't go being anxious on me. Ring plays the ball forward. It's missed by the Rangers defender, and no one's chasing him. Why is nobody putting pressure on that goalkeeper? There's a minute to go and we need a goal. That was just laziness. Francis has now got himself sent off, which is going to be Coates' route into the game for the next game. So those two defenders that I should have already been playing, by hook or by crook, now have routes into the team. I'm just going to go to a back three for the last couple of minutes because we need to score. It doesn't matter if they score again. We do need to score though, and I thought they had scored again there. This is troubling. We should have got something out of this game, and we haven't. Well, I've just tasted defeat for the first time as Bourne manager, and I am not happy about it, so I've shouted at the players. Saffron Dynamo coming up next. I love some of the names we've got at this level. They're amazing. Right, we are going to go and do probably another half dozen or so league games, get all the way through towards the end of October, early November, and hopefully still be sat atop the league. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.